Good day, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful, beautiful day. It's a little more cloudy than blue sky. And there's a gentleman over here who has a biplane, like one of those stunt biplanes. And he has a little airstrip on his property. And every once in a while he's up there practicing, doing stunts and loop-de-loops, and I always thought it'd be cool to, there he is. I'm not sure if you can see him with this camera, but he's just above the tree line there. Beautiful, beautiful biplane. Let's see if he does anything. Hang on. Ooh. It's making crackling noises. Usually when you hear that engine rev, like that's when he's usually, sounds like he's doing a dive. It's like engine kick or something. I don't know. Beautiful plane though. So like I said, beautiful day. It's going to be, I think, up to 28. So right now it's 18 degrees Celsius, but it's just go up to 28. It's not really humid right now, but it's starting to feel like it's getting humid. So yeah, yesterday I cut all the grass, so it looks all nice. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about is all the amazing information. I didn't put this away. I didn't get a chance to work on R2 yesterday because the kids, Carol and I, celebrated Mother's Day down in Newmarket. We went for a big walk, and we went and had lunch, which was, yeah, I think we had lunch at around 1 after our big walk, and I had a steak dinner, and it was really, really good. The sauce on it was obviously a homemade barbecue sauce, but they did a great job. Anyway, so back to R2 and kind of answering all your questions. One of the questions to start off, just because I can see it right now, somebody was worried that I guess it looked like I only had the two sides and that was it, and they were thinking that I didn't have any support, but there's a support right here. You can see the screws, 1, 2, 3 on this side, 3 on the other side, and then 2 from the bottom. No, actually 3 from the bottom. And so I had to flip this whole thing over and screw in from the bottom plate up into this plate. But there is a plate right across there which will support pretty much the main part of my body. And the drawer, obviously when it's in, it will support some of the weight as well. So coming to the question in order, which is all about the hinges, you guys came up with some really, really good options. I'll try to explain why some of the options won't work in this scenario. So one of the suggestions was frog hinges, which are kind of like kitchen cabinet hinges, I believe. And I don't think I can have anything on the inside. I think anything here, like there's only so much space, and I don't think I can have any hinges on the inside of this. This is going to be approximately, I think I'll be using 1/2 inch on any of the surfaces. Like if I'm going to have anything on top of this, it'll probably be 1/2 inch plywood. So that's how high it's going to be, which is giving me some information here. Let me just do this. There we go. Okay. So if I'm going to put a lid on this in certain situations so that I can have counter space for cooking and all that, it looks like there's enough room between this and this that I could put a L bracket of aluminum and then drill up into here, drill into there. It will help support this even more out to here. And then when I do cut, let's say a cubby, which I'll cut a cubby across. Of course, I'll do it over there, wherever the hole in here is going to be. Because, again, one of my ideas is to, I think this is wide enough. Let's pretend that's my cutting surface and my cutting surface and my countertop. So what I would like to do is put like a little bit of a brace here, and a little bit of a brace here, and then I could slide it anywhere I wanted to, as opposed to having hinges lifting things up or having the coffee table lift with the hydraulic lift things. That's kind of cool, but if I have that, then I definitely have to have support in the middle. Kind of like that, but all the way across, because those hinges need to be attached securely to something here and something here, and you'd have to have it all the way across. So, and then that would help, it would help divide up stuff, but it would take, again, up some of my room. I definitely going to put dividers in here, but I also need cooking space. Okay, so the piano hinge idea is great, and I think I'm going to open this up. I don't think we've talked yet. So I have my little tripod thing right now, and Carol's coming. She went for a walk with her friend. So I'm going to open up this little tripod to show you what I'm talking about. So a few of you guys came up with the idea of putting, if this was the top, I'm just trying to use two pieces of small pieces of wood here. Okay, so if this is my bed, or my hinged area, and this is the bed still, I could put the hinge, screw down here, which would leave the knuckle of the hinge above, or I could also, and then that would make it flip up. I cannot put the hinge all the way out to the outside, because then this has nowhere to go, because when you open it up, it wants to go back, right? So I don't know. And plus, I'm also trying really hard to keep this piece of wood as intact as possible, because it will help with the structure and stability of the bed. But you guys, because of your amazing comments, let me just readjust this camera. Because of your amazing comments, you guys mentioned you could put the piano hinge down this way, so the hinge, or the knuckle, is still up here, but the two flaps are on the inside of here and on the inside of here, and it will still open and close, which I think is a great plan, and it is probably in the running for sure. The next idea was to do what I said and get an L bracket of aluminum that is either the length of the bed or just the length of the drawer, and just get two of them. And I'm not sure if I can buy pre-drilled L brackets, and then again, if I have the L bracket here and then I cut a trap door out, it will lean on those brackets. And it looks like, even if I do have a countertop, I got to put this in because it's actually tipped. Okay, if I do have a countertop, there's still enough room between that and the actual bed to you know what's funny is, if I put maybe 3/4, I don't have any big, that's the biggest piece of 3/4 inch I have left. That's another thing too, is I might have to actually go and buy small, sorry, I just touched the mic. I might have to buy smaller pieces of wood. I don't want to buy another whole sheet of plywood. It's expensive, so I might have to go and buy a smaller piece. They do have like smaller chunks of plywood that you can buy. It's probably better to buy a whole sheet, but I don't have anywhere to store it. If whatever's left over, I don't have anywhere really to store it. My garage is full of other stuff. So, and last, so that's, I was going to say last but not least, but I still want to finish this thought. So I think the L bracket idea, and then cutting out a trapdoor just like this, and then the L bracket will be supported. Hang on. Wow. That's getting hard. The paint kind of made it stick a bit, but the L bracket will support it along this end and along this end, and I think that would be fine. It is even possible I could do a nice thin piece of aluminum without the L along here, and then that would support along this side, along that side, and it'd be supported all the way around, and maybe not make it as big. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure this stuff out. And it is also possible I could just get thin aluminum and make a hole this big right in the middle of the bed. And again, it has to be over the part of the drawer that's going to be open. So having a sliding countertop and cooktop is, I think, my best option. Having the L brackets, if I can find them easily, I might possibly even have to, like, I guess I could use my jigsaw with a metal blade to cut it to length and size and all that stuff. The other thing too is Carol's, like I said, I'm a messy cook, so I might take this off, take this piece off, cut it shorter, and then use, again, I'll probably use half inch. This is 3/4 inch, isn't it? Use half inch. And then have it so that I have a spot to put my stove. See, I think that's kind of low. I'd almost want my stove up to be higher. That's changing things a little bit, because I was thinking of having it low. We could still do that. So I would cut an opening in here that a piece of wood would slide all the way in and slide all the way out. And then to stop it from maybe tipping too much is to have a false floor just above it, so that thing could slide in and out without disturbing the actual bottom of the drawer. And then it also will give it some stability. So either use a chopping block, an actual cutting board that you can use for cutting food and meat and all that stuff, and then measure and then just cut it out here, a slot, like a male slot, and then that would come out, and then just have it so that it can come right out if you want, and you can move it around if you needed to, and again, that would just help with extra cooking surfaces. But I'm thinking also that, like, putting a bracket on something like this and then having it hook on, and then I could put my stove on there. Lots and lots of decisions, but that's all I have time for today, guys. I just wanted to go over all your comments and thank you very much for all your amazing hinged comments. And I investigated every comment, you guys. When somebody said frog hinges, I looked up what frog hinges look like. I also looked up what I know what the piano hinge looked like. I'm not sure if I called it piano hinge when I first said it, but again, you guys have been very helpful in helping me understand all the different things I can do. So I don't have any time really today. I got to go and do a food review. I got to put this video together. Then I'm busy all weekend, and then we're traveling somewhere. I'm not sure if I've spilled the beans yet, but we're traveling somewhere next week, and you guys will come along on that adventure. So stay tuned, and I like keeping you guys in the dark. Sometimes it's fun. All right, talk to you later. Thanks for all your help on this project. Bye.